Yo, man, what? Oh my goodness, look at this here. Ooh-wee.
You're so sweet.
Yo, it's your man Valentine, baby, coming to you from on the grind. We on where? GM Place with who? Lady Gaga. If you ain't Gaga already, you're gonna be Gaga after this interview, baby. That's what we talking about.
How you doing, Valentine?
How'd you get your name?
I got it from the Queen song Radio Gaga. My producer Rob used to call me Gaga in the studio because he said I was so over the top and theatrical, and I just kept the name because I thought it was fitting.
New Kids on the Block, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
What's it like opening for them?
It's so amazing. You know, I'm a new artist, and a couple months ago I was just like nobody everywhere, and to have the New Kids really be so loving and so kind and have me go on the road with them and open for them. I mean, I get to play for 15,000 people every night. It's just like this amazing experience. I'm from New York City, born and raised, and you know, I'm 22 years old. So much about my, you know, the youth culture for my generation is celebrity obsession. And at the time that I was really working on this album, I started to notice when I would open up tabloids that these young blonde women were getting arrested and they had their mugshots taken, and they sort of looked like this. And I thought to myself, there's really an art to fame. So I sort of ran with that idea. I started to write more and more records with the art of fame in mind. And then I'd go out at night. So I'd be in the studio all day, and then I'd go out at night with my friends, artists in New York City, the Lower East Side. And I realized that, you know, we don't have any money. We're not famous. There's no paparazzi chasing us. But when we walk down the street, people wonder who we are. And that's that inner fame. That's that swagger, that inner sense of passion for your music and your art, your style, your knowledge about what you do. That's infectious. And it's, yeah, nobody knew who I was, but everybody wanted to know who I was. Well, Just Dance, I was in the studio in Los Angeles. The night before, I had been in New York, and I knew I was going to be leaving New York for a couple weeks. So I had this big farewell party with all my friends on the Lower East Side. Got off the airplane in LA, and I was so hungover, went straight to the studio to Record Plant, which is like one of the like biggest, most amazing studios ever. And it was so different from me as someone that was working out of my apartment or home studios. You know, you walk in and Kanye's mixing his records, Snoop Dogg's down the hall, Nelly's there, Teddy Riley, and I'm there with Red One, and he's like, Gaginetti, you don't feel good. And I said, I know, I had a little bit too much last night, and that's when it started. Well, my first album, I didn't do a commercial release on it. It was more just like records that I put together on my own, and it was really short. I, you know, demoed everything and produced it all myself. Yeah. You know, I wasn't signed to a label. It was just stuff I was doing in New York. And, you know, that's the kind of girl that I am. I never waited for somebody to hand me something on a silver platter. I was like, I want to make a record. Okay, I'll save up my money and I'll buy a 4-track tape recorder and I'll do it myself. Or I'll, you know, sneak into the studio over at NYU and use their like private recording studio to get stuff done. I mean, I used to just hustle and grind and do whatever I had to do. I go danced for a couple years just to get my records played by DJs in the club. I write music. I design clothing. I live and breathe my art. And honestly, it's interesting because I think that, you know, when people say, how did you do it? It's like, you have to. It's like survival for yourself. Like, I would not be able to breathe if I couldn't make art. I just wouldn't. I would not be, look at me. This is me on a normal day.
It's a beautiful
I wake up like this. This is like, I wake up in the morning and I make my hair bow and I put my cat suit on and I call up everybody in the House of Gaga and I say, how are we going to be brilliant today?
I mean, you went to a prestigious school.
Yeah.
For art. I mean, what was that like? I mean, being one of 20.
Well, the Tisch School of the Arts, yeah, it's a theater program. It's really hard to get into the musical theater program there, and it's not just musical theater. You know, you take you know, art history classes, you take set design, you take lighting design, you learn about creative direction and scenes and dance, like all kinds of stuff. And I think that that's what makes me different as a pop writer and as a performer. Is I'm really knowledgeable about my art. I mean, I'm not like a dummy.
On the Grind is where we bring in anybody who's trying to make it to the next level. And we want to know I mean, what can you tell some of these cats out there who are still grinding?
Honestly, this is as somebody that has been in the grind in New York for a really long time, and I've seen a lot of really talented artists not go anywhere. And you have to think about your life. Read this book, first of all. It's called Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke, and read it 100 times. It's only 80 pages long, so read it 100 times. And I want you to think about the last time you got really drunk, and I want you to think about the last time that you didn't show up to work. Every little moment counts, and you can never think that something is not important. Live your life as if you would die if you were forbidden to make music. And if you do that, you will get your song played on the radio. It's such a difficult life doing what we do, but it's a blessing. It's like, yeah, I've got to give up a ton of things that nobody wants to give up, but every day I get to make music. It's like, it's so worth every sacrifice. So I would say anybody that's on this show that's upset because their stuff's not getting played on the radio, you need to sit down with yourself and look yourself in the eye in the mirror, and you need to say, is this my destiny? Am I really supposed to be doing this? And if you are, you're gonna sit in that mirror and you're gonna figure out, how am I gonna get my song played on the radio? And you're gonna look deep in that mirror and go right into the corner in the iris of your eye, and there's gonna be an answer, and it's gonna happen.
We know how the grind is, and the grind takes a lot of people, but it takes the strong ones to survive. And you survived. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
we want to have you back on the grind.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
For the next time.
Yeah, I'm
So-
for sure here.
We want to thank you for coming on, babe.
Thank
And
you.
you look fabulous, man.
Thank you.
Shout out anybody?
I would love to give a shout out to all of the viewers that are watching, everybody that, has a dream. Like, don't ever stop. Like, really, just devote your life to it, and you can make anything happen. So that's a shout out to all of you who are watching.
You got a MySpace?
MySpace.com/Lady Gaga. LadyGaga.com just was launched, and you can go on YouTube and go to my channel. Go check it out, and message me. I really love to communicate with my fans. So.
Yo, it's your man Valentine sitting with the lovely Lady Gaga, man. Hey, if you think it's your time to shine, you need to get on the ground with your man Valentine. Lady Gaga, we out.
Shit.